Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming a video that is a little different than my usual content, but I feel like it's very, very important, and it is healthy habits that have changed my life. And I did want to say that this video is sponsored by Superpower. I'm very excited to get into Superpower later on in this video. Superpower is absolutely changing the game, trying to make people the healthiest version of themselves, and I am so excited to be working with them. I'll talk about them a little more later on in this video, but thank you Superpower for partnering with me. I feel like my content is not about health, it's not about wellness, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to get into that space, but I am someone that shares a lot of my life, whether that is me building a business and being a founder, me being a creator. I share just like weekends with my friends, I share my travels, and I have gotten so many more comments lately saying that I just look happier, that people can tell that I'm happier. And while that definitely is true, I think a huge underlying theme of like everything in my life has been the fact that I have been really taking my health seriously lately. I've been trying to take a more holistic approach when it comes to health. So that means more of like being a well-rounded, healthy person, not just like, okay, I like eat clean, but then I never work out or I never move my body, or I work out, but I eat like crap. I work out and I eat healthy, but I never get any sleep. Like, I'm really trying to include health and just becoming the best, like healthiest version of myself in every aspect of my life. And I feel like it's improved my mood, it's improved relationships, it's improved my focus so that I can focus on my business. And it really has just changed my life. And I also want to give you context, because when I say that I've been taking a more holistic approach, it is because in the past that was never the case. I was not a healthy person. Looking back at my previous habits and my lifestyle, I was not intentionally making like healthier choices with pretty much like anything in my life. Just for context, when I was growing up, I never played any sports growing up, which is like my biggest embarrassment, I would say. It's like I dread when people ask me, what sports did you play growing up? Because it's so embarrassing to just say like I didn't. I was terrified of the gym. Like, I never ever worked out until I was like 18. And I grew up very, very, very thin my whole life. I was honestly more so like underweight, very skinny, didn't have curves, didn't have any muscle. And I was not moving my body at all, and I was eating junk. Like, I would eat frozen meals, we would have soda in the house, I would eat processed food for every single meal, every single day, essentially. Like, I was not making good choices. And unfortunately, growing up in the 2000s, skinny meant healthy. And so I was like, that's fine, like, who cares? Where now we obviously know that that is not the case at all. And I definitely needed to make some changes. So I got into fitness in college. And when I say got into fitness, I am not someone that's like a fitness guru. Again, I'm not, selling my fitness courses on Instagram or anything like that. Like, I am just someone that really enjoys moving my body and being active now, which is just like so far from what I was when I was little. So when I started getting into fitness was in college. I went to the gym for like the first time, I would say, in college. I was terrified. I did not know what to do. So I actually started with Blogilates back in those days. If you guys are familiar with Cassie Ho, that was like how I got my first like toe dip into fitness. Then I switched over to the Kayla Itzinas PDFs. Please, if you guys use those, comment down below, because that was just an era in and of itself. But I would use the Kayla Itzinas PDFs, and that's how I started going to the gym and working out, and I genuinely started really liking it. And what I liked about it was, one, seeing the transformation in my body. I started gaining curves, I started growing muscle, and I also just started feeling better. Like, I remember like not working out for a period of time and being like, I'm like actually craving going to the gym, or like I like miss that feeling of going to the gym. And then when I would say I started prioritizing my health journey, meaning actually looking inward and seeing, what could I do to improve my overall health, not just like my fitness, was when I started getting really bad acne. So I was on birth control for 10 years, and I have a whole video getting off birth control. So if you guys want to see that, I'll have it linked down below. I was on birth control for the reason of acne. I went to a dermatologist, they prescribed me birth control at 15, and they didn't like say anything else about it. They just prescribed it to me, said this can help clear up your acne, and it did. And I didn't really question it, I didn't look into it, and I was just on it for the next decade point of my life. And when I got off of birth control, I decided I want to get off of it. I want to know what I feel like and who I am without being on birth control. And so I got off of it and my skin absolutely exploded. I had the worst acne I'd ever had. It was all over my face and it lasted for so long. And as you guys know, I still struggle with my skin today. But overall, it has been on a pretty clear path considering like what it was when I first got off of birth control. And so I knew that there was something that I wanted to address like the root cause of, and I wanted to figure out what was necessarily wrong with my skin. And that was what triggered this like health journey, if you will, and trying to be more like holistically healthy rather than just like, oh, I go to the gym a few times a week. During my health journey and me being, I would say, the healthiest I've ever been today, I've gained like 20 to 30 pounds. And that is not to scare anyone. That's just to say that skinny does not equal healthy. And I still think I'm a very like in shape person. I do not think that I really love my body the way it is right now. Some people equate losing weight to being healthy, and that is not at all my experience. I've actually feel my absolute best now, and I am like 20 to 30 pounds heavier than I was when I was in college. And this is just for the people watching that I know are, you know, scared of seeing the weight on the scale go up and thinking that that's necessarily a bad thing. That has not been my experience, and I think I feel and personally look my best. So let's get into the things that have completely changed my life. Seeing my biomarkers and getting my blood drawn and actually seeing internally what was off. Like I said, I am working with Superpower on this video, and this partnership has never been more organic because I love Superpower. I was able to get my blood drawn in my apartment. I had a nurse come to my apartment and draw my blood, so I didn't have to go to any lab. I didn't have to go to a clinic. It was literally so easy. And then within a few days, you're going to get your biological age back, and you're going to see all of these biomarkers that they can test with your blood. And my score was 100 out of 100. I was shocked because this was actually not my first time seeing my biomarkers. Remember when I told you that I had acne after birth control? I had gotten my blood drawn then. And so I actually had kind of like a baseline benchmark to kind of see what was being thrown off, and seeing it now at 100 out of 100 was so crazy because clearly like what I have been doing has been working, and like I said, it truly has changed my life from the inside out. And so seeing those biomarkers was so important for me to know what I needed to either supplement, what I needed to work on, how I could improve my diet, and everyone's different. So that's why I always say, like with these types of videos, even with this specific video right now, I don't want to tell you specific supplements to take. I don't want to tell you, you know, you have to do this specific workout. I really need you to listen to your body and optimize your life for what you specifically need, which is why getting your blood drawn and actually seeing these results is so important, because you don't know what you don't know. Get your blood drawn, use Superpower. It is seriously so easy. You get a score, you get a biological age, and then you can actually talk to one of their specialists and they will give you recommendations on how to improve, and they'll give you an action plan on what you can do. So what supplements to take, how you can implement changes into your diet, and it's seriously so helpful, and it's looking at everything holistically, and it's actually measured by your blood. So this isn't just like someone on the internet telling you what to take. This is like an actual specialist, an actual physician telling you how you can improve your health. So because of those results, I was able to get the right supplements. I was able to clear my skin, as you've seen, and now I'm not spending money on things that I don't need. So chef's kiss, everyone loves that. So if you are someone out there that is like, okay, I really want to understand my health from a holistic perspective, definitely check out Superpower. I'm going to have them linked down below so you can schedule your appointment to get your blood drawn. And then once you do that, come back to this video and tell me what your biological age is, because I think that is so interesting. And optimizing my morning routine. I think everyone, regardless if you're a morning person or not, needs an optimized morning routine. It's going to look different for everyone, but I am convinced that if you're a night person, morning person, doesn't matter. Morning routines will change your life because it's how you start your day. Don't wake up at 5 a.m. I'm not waking up at 4:30 and going to the gym. Like, this is a realistic healthy habits video, guys. So just know that. I wake up around like 6:30 or 7, honestly, like sometimes 7:15. It completely depends, and obviously it depends on your schedule. And a lot of people start their day with using their phone as their alarm clock, putting it in front of their face, and then scrolling on their phone for a little bit, seeing if they've missed any texts, if they've missed any calls. I do not touch my phone in the morning. My Hatch alarm clock goes off, which I recommend Hatch for anyone. It is the absolute best thing. I love waking up to just the sound of like the ocean or like chirping birds, and it's like very quiet. It doesn't stress me out like a loud iPhone alarm. And when I'm traveling, I don't use the iPhone alarm either. I use an app called Sleep Cycle, and it also wakes you up really gently. And then I don't look at my phone. So I do not let myself look at my phone until I'm like going to the gym and like pulling up my workout app. Of course, some days that's not the case. Some days I will look at my phone in the morning, but I never look at it when I'm in bed. Like that is a no-no for me, or else I will end up scrolling for way too long, and it is just not the way to start your morning. The next thing I do is I take my supplements and I drink a big glass of water, and then I actually drink a protein shake. I've started to have some fuel before the gym, because in the past I would just wake up and go straight to the gym and I'd still be groggy and tired, and I would work out pretty much like fasted because I didn't have any food that morning. I listened to a Mel Robbins podcast talking about the way that women should be working out to like optimize their workout. And she was talking about how women should actually have some food before working out, or some like protein, some fuel, like a little bit of something before you actually end up going to the gym and working out, and you'll see better results at the gym. And so I actually started drinking my protein shakes before the gym versus after. So I'll wake up, take my supplements, drink some water, make a protein shake, drink that, and then I don't like to go to the gym immediately. I like to have like a 20-minute gap between, so that I'm not going with like a full protein shake in my stomach. So I'll unload the dishwasher, I'll make my bed, I'll do kind of like my morning errands, I'll say, and then I end up going to the gym. I love to switch up my workouts. I've done so many different things. I told you I did Blogilates, I did Kayla at CNS. I need someone telling me what to do. So I use a program called Ladder right now. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. And then I come back from the gym, I shower, I get ready, and I make a breakfast. I love breakfast, I never skip it. And I like to make a protein-rich breakfast, and then I will have my coffee and then get to work. So my morning routine is not like 5 hours long. It's not unrealistic. It's really just making these little tiny changes and showing up for yourself that really make the biggest difference. The next thing, like I was saying, we'll get back to the workouts, is finding workouts that I actually enjoy. I need someone to tell me like what to do, like I said. And so I've never been someone that goes to the gym and just starts like working out and like going on the machines and not knowing what to do. I need to have a plan. Even like the treadmill, I will do 12 through 30 because it's someone telling me to do 12 incline, 3 miles per hour, 30 minutes. Like I just need structure like that when it comes to my workouts, because it's not an area that I feel like confident in, especially, you know, not growing up with sports. That could have contributed to it. But anyways, I like to find workouts that I enjoy. So right now I'm doing the Ladder app, and I'm doing, I think like it's my Henry's program, and I've absolutely been loving it, but I really want to get stronger in this time of my life. So I'm trying to do more weights mixed with Pilates, and also daily walks, or at least like a couple days a week for walks to be realistic. And so finding something that you like is so important. I think that there's a lot of trends with workouts out there, like Pilates is obviously one right now, which I love Pilates. It's one of my favorite workouts. If you don't love Pilates, you don't need to do Pilates. I also recently trained for a half marathon, so that was great having that structure. There are some periods of time where I don't really love working out. I just want to go on long walks, and I'll do that. I've done so many different workouts, so many different programs, and I'm constantly switching it up, because if I don't enjoy it, then I'm not gonna do it. So find something that you like and stick to that, and change it up when you're ready. Having some structure of like someone telling you what to do, if you are someone that really wants to see a difference in your fitness and like you want to get serious about like moving your body and going to the gym, I would definitely recommend something like that. The next thing that really changed my life is that I started eating whole foods and focusing on protein. I know that you probably hear this a lot when it comes to how to, you know, become a healthier version of yourself, but I seriously have seen the biggest difference with my diet. I was a kid that would drink soda every day. I would eat processed food for like all my meals. Like my family was not into health. Let's just put it that way. But it definitely shaped me, because when I was older, I didn't really value home cooked meals. I didn't know how to cook. I was afraid of cooking. Like I just felt like I would always get something wrong. I preferred eating out, and this was a issue I had for years, for most of my life. Honestly, I would say this is like the first year where I am truly like cooking for myself, creating my own meals and recipes, and focusing on like whole foods and a very protein rich diet. And I'm gonna give you kind of like 2 tips with what helped me do this, because if you were like me where you're like, I DoorDash everything, or I like hate cooking, I go to the Trader Joe's frozen section and that's like where I eat 90% of my meals, this is what helped me. So I actually signed up for one of those like meal delivery subscriptions. I signed up for Sunbasket, and then I also had signed up later for Hungry Root. I was using a meal delivery subscription for like almost 2 years, and it was so convenient for me. As someone who is a founder, I am very busy. I didn't want to go to the grocery store. I just felt very like overwhelmed. I didn't know what to cook. Again, like I said, I don't know how to cook. So I was just kind of like, I don't know what to do. And it really held me back. And so this meal delivery kit was really helpful for me to discover new recipes, to get me a little less afraid of the kitchen, I guess, and afraid of cooking. And it helped me like not get bored of my meals, not have to go to the grocery store and all of that stuff. I highly recommend those meal delivery services if you are someone that is busy or just like doesn't know how to cook, like me. I now have stopped using any of those. I like canceled all my subscriptions because I now feel more confident in the kitchen. I feel more confident in the grocery store, and I've kind of figured out like what I like and what I don't like. Now, when it comes to eating more protein, I am doing this because I am going to the gym now. I'm focusing more on strength training. I really want to like build muscle and just like get stronger and see results from the gym. And so that means I should be eating more protein. So with a protein-rich diet, I think a lot of people would be surprised to know that it is really hard to get enough protein in your diet. I did not realize how hard it was. Like I was just like eating like normal and thinking, oh yeah, I definitely like get enough protein. And then when I started kind of like looking at it, I was like, am I getting enough protein? I realized I wasn't. The one thing that I have done, and again, this is not necessarily for everyone. If you are someone that has had an eating disorder in the past, have had, you've calorie counted and it has led to an eating disorder, don't necessarily listen to this advice, but this is just what I have been doing. I have been tracking my macros and trying to see like, okay, how many calories am I eating in a day? How much protein am I getting? Those are like the two metrics that I care about. I don't really care about carbs or fat as much. I want to eat a balanced diet. And so what I've been doing is I have literally been using ChatGPT, and I have been tracking my macros on ChatGPT and having it tell me like, okay, adding up the total and figuring out what I'm eating that day to make sure that I can get enough protein. I am not someone that's ever struggled with an eating disorder. I have a very, very healthy view on food. I have a healthy view on my body. I am fine with tracking my macros. That's not the case for everyone. So again, do what's best for you. You know what's best for yourself. But for me, this has helped me, and it's really helped me eat more protein-rich whole foods. And I can say that I see such a difference in even just like the way that I feel, and it's really, really helped me with my health journey, and especially with like going hand in hand with like working out a lot and wanting to, get the most out of my workouts while also eating healthy. And this is not to say that I eat like this all the time, or I only eat whole foods and protein-rich foods, because that's not the case. If I go out to eat, I'm ordering whatever I want. I'm just trying to go out to eat less, because you guys, if you could see my credit card bill of how many times I order Uber Eats, DoorDash, and go out to eat, it's not good. It is not good. And then another thing that has truly helped me, and I know I kind of touched on this with my morning routine, but it is going on walks outside. Emphasis on outside, just getting like sunlight in your eyes and just like feeling the sun on you, when, especially if you work from home like me, where I am indoors all day. It is just so nice, and it makes such a difference. It is the time where I put a podcast in. I just go on a walk. I'll call a friend sometimes and catch up with a friend. It is like my me time. I love walks. I wish I could go on more walks. I feel sometimes like I don't have time to go on walks, but I need to get that out of my head, because when I do, it changes my entire mood. I get more steps in, because you guys, I don't get steps working from home. Like for the most part, stay at my apartment. My steps are walking from my desk to the kitchen to the bathroom. Like that's the steps that I'm getting for the day. So going on a walk is so nice. If you live in a walkable city, I'm so jealous of you, because like you get your steps in without even having to like try. But if you're like a work from home girl like me, you kind of need to like force yourself to go outside and walk. It is like my me time. It's like a form of meditation for me, I swear. It is so nice to be able to go outside, feel the sun, get fresh air, and just like focus on something else. I feel like my best ideas come from when I'm walking. I feel so much happier. I feel more at peace, and I'm very lucky. I live in Miami. It's sunny year round, but I just highly recommend incorporating walks outside, not just like on the treadmill, to your routine, even if it's like on top of a workout or replaces a workout. Like I think that going on walks outside will change your life. Seriously, I know that might sound dramatic, but it's true. And like I said, I am by no means someone that knows everything about health. I'm just talking to you as I would talk to some of my friends about what has completely changed my life and how I have become like a healthier version of myself, how I feel better, how I sleep better. And these are just some things that have helped me. So I hope that they help you. I hope that it encourages you. And again, this is a very like balanced way of thinking. This is not saying that you need to go super hard in one area, that you need to go on a diet. Like, this is not at all about that. This is just about like being more intentional about the choices you're making and also understanding your body at a deeper level, which is why I loved working with Superpower on this video, because they really help you do that and they give you advice from like an actual physician based on your blood work. You definitely have to check them out. It was like the best decision I could have made and I definitely recommend it. So I will have them again linked down below. Thank you Superpower for sponsoring this video. I love that you've noticed that I've been happier, but thank you guys again for watching this video. If you guys want more videos about, you know, this side of my life, I feel like it's not even like a side of my life because it's, like I said, it's so integrated into my life. But if you have any more questions, just let me know. I love you guys and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.